Hello. This video will cover major-specific information for majors in the Department of Physics and Astronomy. In this video, I will be discussing the following curriculums in the Department of Physics and Astronomy, which include Astronomy, Biophysics, Physical Sciences, Physics, and Physics and Computer Science. I will also cover additional information like grading requirements, placement exams, GE and exam credits relevant to all majors in the Department of Physics and Astronomy, and then I will end with some department opportunities and resources. Let's start with astronomy. Astronomy has two types of degrees, a Bachelor of Science, or BS for short, and a Bachelor of Arts, or BA for short. Both majors require Astronomy 110, 3 semesters of physics, up to Calculus 3, and linear algebra. For physics, students may take either the 150 or the 160 series. The difference between these series is the level of math required. The 160 series requires more math and also focuses more on relativity. It is strongly recommended that students take the 160 series over the 150 series to be better prepared in their astronomy and physics courses. All students in astronomy and physics majors will complete a 4-unit seminar course called Physics Discovery Series. This course is an excellent introduction to the Department of Physics and Astronomy and the research happening in these fields, and it will also equip students with foundational tools to begin doing computational and analysis in physics and astronomy. The difference between the BS and the BA can be seen in the upper division requirements. The BA requires 28 upper division units, while the BS requires 44 units of upper division. This is a sample first-year course plan for students in astronomy. All first-year students are required to take a GE seminar and Writing 150 in their first year. These should not be taken in the same semester. We recommend all students start with math as it is the prerequisite to the physics series. You may use your AP, IB, or A-level scores to advance higher than Calculus 1. All astronomy students will take Astronomy 110 in the spring semester as it is a spring-only course. Physics 190, the 4-unit seminar, is only offered in the fall. You should be taking it in your freshman year to get the most out of this course. If you're unable to fit it in your first semester, you will be able to take it in sophomore year. This is a sample 4-year course plan for the Astronomy BA. You can see that there is about 20 units of elective space. Students may choose to take summer courses, and some have fewer foreign language or math requirements based on their AP, IB, A-level exam scores. So it is very possible to open up additional space for a minor. This is the sample 4-year course plan for the Astronomy BS. You can see that there is limited elective space for a second major or minor. Once again, students may choose to take summer courses, and some have fewer foreign language or math requirements based on AP, IB, A-level exam scores. So once again, it is possible to open up additional space for a minor. The biophysics major, a Bachelor of Science degree, is a popular degree for pre-health students. The major requires 3 semesters of physics, specifically the 160 series, and the 4-unit seminar plus 2 semesters of general biology and chemistry, as well as Calculus 3 and linear algebra. There are 40 units of upper division electives required. Molecular biology, biochemistry, and both organic chemistry courses are also pre-health requirements, so students only need to add 3 courses outside of their major to satisfy the rest of their pre-health requirements. This is a sample first semester course plan for biophysics major. All students are required to take a GE seminar and Writing 150 in their first year. These should not be taken in the same semester. We recommend all students start with BIS 120. You may choose to pair this course with either math or the first semester of general chemistry. Priority on the math. You want to consider whether you feel ready to take 2 lab sciences, bio and chem, together in your first semester. If you choose to take bio and math, you will still be on track for your major and any pre-health emphasis. Physics 190, the 4-unit seminar course, is only offered in the fall. We recommend taking it in your first year to get the most out of this course. If you're unable to fit it in your first semester, you will be able to take it in your sophomore year. This is a sample 4-year course plan for the biophysics major. You can see that there is no space for additional majors and minors as this curriculum is pretty extensive. The physical sciences major is a Bachelor of Science degree popular among students interested in teaching. It requires 3 semesters of physics, 2 semesters of general chemistry, 1 semester of geology, and Calculus 3. There are 28 units of upper division requirements, and students are able to select from a list of courses in each category. This is a sample first semester course plan for students in physical sciences. Most students choose to start with geology and math. Then there are options for combining the STEM courses from math, geology, biology, and chemistry. You should talk to your advisor about your interest in starting in particular areas. Once again, Physics 190 is only offered in the fall, and we would recommend taking it in your first year to get the most out of this course. The sample course plan for the Physical Sciences BS degree. Students have some flexibility in the arrangement of their science and math courses. There's about 20 units of elective space, and a minor is popular for students in this major. Physics has two types of degrees, a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts. Both majors require 3 semesters of physics, specifically the 160 series, up to Calculus 3 and Linear Algebra, and 1 semester of General Chemistry, and then a STEM elective with options in Chemistry, Electrical Engineering, and Computer Science. The biggest difference between the BS and the BA can be seen in the upper division requirements. The BA requires 28 upper division units, while the BS requires 40 units of upper division. The BA is popular among students who want to work in the industry, go to law school, and more. The BS is popular among students interested in graduate programs. This is a sample first semester course plan for students in physics. Once again, all students are required to take a GE seminar and RIT 150 in their first year. These should not be taken in the same semester. We recommend all students start with math and physics. If you have AP, IB, or A-level scores in math to advance higher than Calculus 1, then you will start with Physics 161 in your fall semester. If you do not have Calculus 1 credit, then you would start with math and chemistry instead, since Physics 161 is a fall-only course. Physics 190, the 4-unit seminar course, is only offered in the fall, so once again, you should be taking it in your freshman year to get the most out of this course. If you're unable to fit it in your first semester, you will then be able to take it in your sophomore year. Sample 4-year course plan for the Physics BA if you do not have Calculus 1 credit. You can see that there is about 16 units of elective space. Students may choose to take summer courses, and some have fewer foreign language or math requirements based on their AP, IB, or A-level exam scores, so it is possible to open additional space to complete a minor. This is the sample 4-year course plan for the Physics BA if you do have Calculus 1 credit, which allows you to start at Calculus 2, opening an additional spot to have about 20 units to fit a minor depending on the minor you choose. This is the sample 4-year course plan for the Physics BS if you start with Calculus 1, which, as you can see, does not leave you much room to pursue additional degree objectives. However, once again, you can choose to take summer courses, or if you have fewer foreign language requirements, then it is possible to open additional space for a minor. And finally, this is a sample 4-year course plan for Physics BS for those that have Calc 1 credit and are starting at Calculus 2. And finally, we have the Physics and Computer Science major. This major is interdisciplinary Bachelor of Science degree with courses in Dornsife and the Viterbi School of Engineering. The lower division requirements consist of 52 units of computer science, mathematics, and physics, specifically the Physics 160 series, followed by 28 units of upper division courses. This major is popular among students interested in computer science and its application within the field of physics. This is the sample first semester course plan for students in physics and computer science majors. All students are required to take either GE or RIT 150 in their first semester. For students who have AP credit or satisfy the challenge exam for Computer Science 102, they may not need to take it in their first semester, and they may take the next computer science course in their second semester. We recommend all students start with math and physics. If you have AP, IB, or A-level scores in math to advance higher than Calculus 1, then you'll start with Physics 161 in your fall semester. If you do not have Calculus 1 credit, then you will instead take a GE. Physics 190, the 4-unit seminar course, is only offered in the fall, so once again, we recommend taking it in your freshman year to get the most out of this course. If you're unable to fit it in your first semester, then you'll be able to take it in your sophomore year. This is a sample course plan for the Physics and Computer Science major. As you can see, there is not a lot of elective space. Second majors and minors are not common with this major. However, it is quite interdisciplinary. You will see on this plan that Computer Science 102 is placed in the first semester, but it wasn't a requirement for the major. Computer Science 102 is the prerequisite for Computer Science 103, which is a major requirement. Students may place out of Computer Science 102 with AP Computer Science A, or by taking a challenge exam if they have previous programming experience. And this is a sample course plan for students who have higher than Calculus 1 credit through AP, IB, or A level, and they would start with Physics 161 in their first semester. For all majors in astronomy and physics, students are required to earn a C or higher in all upper division physics and astronomy courses. All USC students, regardless of major, are required to have at least a 2.0 GPA in upper division major courses and at least a 2.0 GPA overall. All major courses must be taken for a letter grade and not on a pass-no-pass basis. All upper division courses must be taken at USC. Lower division course in math, physics, and chemistry may be taken off campus. Since all majors in the department are required to take math and chemistry, you should take both the math and chemistry placement exams. Even if you have AP Calculus credit, which can advance you to Calculus 2, you should still take the math placement exam. The chemistry department uses both the math and chemistry placement exam scores to determine chemistry placement. All dorm type students are required to fulfill level 3 of a foreign language. If you have an AP score of 4 or 5 besides Latin, or an IB higher level score of 6 or 7, you will satisfy the foreign language requirement. If you are fluent in a language, you may take a competency exam to satisfy the foreign language requirement. If you're an international student, you might be exempt from the requirement. If you're not satisfying the foreign language requirement in any of these ways, you will need to take the foreign language courses. If you have previous experience with a language, you may contact the Language Center for placement for your first semester. The exception would be Spanish, which requires a placement exam that can be accessed on Brightspace only during orientation. If you want to start a new language at level 1, you may request declearance for level 1 of the language. Please note that the Language Center will confirm you do not have any academic experience in the language you are requesting level 1 clearance for. Certain courses in these majors will overlap with some of the GE requirements. You may be able to fulfill GD, E, and F through the certain major courses. This will be important to remember when you're selecting a GE seminar to register for. You do not want to select a GE seminar that will fulfill any of these GE categories since they will already be completed. It is also possible to fulfill some of the majors requirements with AP, IB, or A-level scores if you are not pre-health. If you are pre-health, you may not use exam scores to fulfill these requirements. Please note that AP and IB physics do not waive any of the physics requirement for any of the majors covered today. You can scan the QR code here to see a full list of exam credit. There are many opportunities and resources within the Physics and Astronomy department and USC that are relevant to students in these majors. There's a student organization founded by physics and astronomy students called the Society of Physics Students. There's also significant opportunities for students to get involved in many types of research happening in the department. The 2-unit seminar course Physics 190 that all students will take is an excellent introduction to the field and research. The additional resources included are offered by USC and are free for all students. They include tutoring and academic services, disability and accessibility services.